Trust agreement. Very simple. It's all completed, so you see what it looks like. We'll give you the blank one as well. The bold highlighted parts are the only parts you have to fill in. This is easy. I'm going to explain to you what the paragraphs mean, but I'm not going to read 12 pages to you. You can read it later. But it just starts out that this land and trust agreement is made this blank day, 21st day of November, 1993. It's made between you, if you're the beneficiary, or the seller if he was putting it in a trust for you to take the assignment of beneficial interest. But generally, it's going to be you that is taking the property in trust. So you're the beneficiary. Ignore the grantors and beneficiaries part. Just think of yourself as the beneficiary, because that's what you are.
The grantor in this document doesn't mean the same as the grantor on a deed, does it?
That's right.
What you're doing is granting the powers to the trust, in this case, not granting the title to the property. So just ignore the word grantor and look at the word beneficiary.
Right.
And put your name, or names. All beneficiaries' names should go on that line. But you and your spouse, you and your partner, whatever, should go on that line. Okay?
Next paragraph, the trustee's name. The trustee will be a party to the agreement. It's how you bind them to the transaction. And then it's trustee of whatever the trust is, the 123 Main Street Land Trust. Then if you go down to paragraph 1, we're going to name the trust. The title of the trust in this case is the 123 Main Street Land Trust. You're halfway to getting this document done. You filled in the first page. We're not going to fill in anything else for several pages, but let me tell you what the paragraphs mean. Paragraph 2 says the purpose of the trust is to hold title to the property, and when you direct the trustee to do so, to deed the property. Not supposed to do a lot until then. Paragraph 3 says that the trust property is the property deeded into it that's put on Schedule A and listed there in the legal description you'll see in a minute. Paragraph 4 says the powers and duties of the trustee. They have all kinds of power, but they can only exercise it when you direct them to do so in writing. So when you want the trustee to do something, Ron, send him a little note. Say, do this, do that, whatever you want him to do. Number 5, compensation of trustee. The trustee should get paid. You'll see on the schedule that we show you how to tell them how much they're going to get paid, which is, generally speaking, not a lot. It's a family member. You don't want to spend all your profits paying your trustee, unless he's your attorney in Pittsburgh.
My daughter's my trustee sometimes. She gets a big goose egg. She gets love and affection. And everything that's left when I'm not around.
She's the rate you're spending it, Ron? I don't know if that'll be much.
I told her I'm going to spend her inheritance. Don't worry about it.
Paragraph 6, the liability of the trustee. The trustee is not personally liable. They're not responsible for the trust. Only if they do something wrong are they responsible. Paragraph 7 says you can remove the trustee and appoint a successor. Paragraph 8 says that the trustee can resign by giving you notice of his intention to do so, and you can appoint a successor. Paragraph 9 tells you that there are no income tax returns due, and the trustee does not have any tax reporting responsibilities. Paragraph 10, you will indemnify the trustee. This means if he has to pay out money or advances money on behalf of the trust, that you will pay him back. Trustee's not going to be responsible for your actions, but if he happens to get involved in litigation with the trust, you'll take care of him, pay his expenses, etc.
And he has a lien on the trust until you do, doesn't he?
That's right.
Yes.
So, and he doesn't have to sell it for you until you pay him off. Paragraph 11 says that when you deal with the trustee, any outside party has no reason to look any further than dealing with the trustee. They don't need to worry about looking at the trust agreement or anything like that. Paragraph 12, the beneficiaries, that's you, are the people that own the property, and they are listed separately on the schedule in Schedule C. Paragraph 13 tells you that the interest of the beneficiaries consists of 3 rights: the right to direct the trustee to deal with the title, the right to manage and control the property, and the right to receive all the benefits, all the money, and all the tax deductions from owning the property. Paragraph 14 says that you can assign the beneficial interest, just like we talked about. To do that, you just use the assignment of beneficial interest form we'll show you in a minute. 15 says you cannot disclose the beneficiaries. If you disclose the names of the beneficiaries and there is a loss to the beneficiary because of that, you will be writing a check. Because it also puts a provision in there that you can recover for a loss if someone reveals your name when they should not do so. Don't record the agreement. 17 says this is the whole agreement. And that is everything up to paragraph 18. Governing law. Where it says in that first paragraph, state of Pennsylvania, put in the state of whatever your property's located.
The state where your property's located, not where you're located.
That's right. 19 says it's binding. 20 says there will be annual statements, which strangely enough look like your tax returns. 21, 22, and 23 are just housekeeping provisions. Finalize some legalese. That brings us to page 7, and now you got to do some more work. You're going to have to sign the document now. And right down below that, the trustee is going to sign the document. The acknowledgement page, that's where it's going to be notarized. Notary will figure that out if you can't, because they're good at that. That's what they get paid for. Schedule A. Pretty obvious. You insert the legal description of the property, just like we talked about and Ron talked about with a deed. Just copy it right onto that schedule. Don't bother typing. And you can add on the next page on Schedule B the address of the property, so we know which property this is. Schedule C, what's going to go there? Your name, you're the beneficiary, and the percentage of interest you own. Here's where if you had a partner and you each owned 50%, you would list it out on this schedule. If the trust is assigned to someone else, and the interest is assigned, this schedule changes because the beneficiary's changed. And finally, Schedule D.
Wait a minute, let's stop just a second.
Okay.
I want to make sure that anybody listening to this understands that this is not a partnership agreement. This is a trust agreement. Even though we own 50% interest in this trust perhaps as equal partners, that doesn't mean we don't need a partnership agreement. The trust only tells us how we hold title. It doesn't tell us all of the arrangements within a partnership.
That's correct.
So we would still need a partnership agreement. Mm-hmm. Okay?
And one final page, Schedule D, the compensation of trustee. I use a nice paragraph that doesn't mean a lot. It says the trustee will be paid on an annual basis according to the schedule of fees agreed to between the trustee and the beneficiaries. You can tell a lawyer wrote that one.
Right.
But that's a trust agreement, folks. That's all there is to it. You can fill in the blanks.
All right.
No problem there.